Next section within the Klaviyo audit sheet is subscriber list growth, pop-ups. How can you get more opt-ins so your email subscriber list grows and expands? Massive part of what we do here at Magnet Monster, and you know it's important for your brand, your team, and your client's brand as well. So let's dive in here. It's going to be quite a full one. I'll try and move as fast as I can here. So accessibility, desktop and mobile friendly forms being served on your store. So you want to ensure that this is our best practice. We prefer doing this. You want to create separate pop-ups for mobile users and desktop users, because then you can better control the sizing of fonts, the size of your visuals, the size of your buttons and your form fields and so on. Okay, your touch targets. So that's the very first thing that we look at. Have you set one for desktop and one for mobile, separate ones? We're going to be looking at Klaviyo backend here. We're not going to be looking at third-party tool pop-ups and so forth. We also like to separate the two, because you can then look at performance reporting on a device level. So we do it for DeroDrive. You can see there. Okay, so yep, all good. Display trigger configuration, how quickly your pop-up appears. Now, this is a very controversial thing to audit, just because there's different likings and different viewpoints into this one. Some people like it aggressive, like immediately. Some people like to give people some time to first, browse through the pages and the home page or wherever they enter before we serve them a pop-up. So you need to first determine what is the need for the business. If they want to drive more revenue from email, they want to grow their email list aggressively, they need to be aggressive with their pop-ups, the triggering of it, just because otherwise you're not going to be in a good position to collect opt-ins. So you go into your targeting and behavior, and this particular one is based on a custom trigger, just because they're using third-party tools, AI tools, to serve it in a more personal, customized fashion. Okay, so we're now in an AI, space. So if you hand it over to AI to do it, great. Then you get access to the AI tool, so you can better analyze that. Sometimes people set it to immediate. You need to align with your client or your team. So I'm going to set it there. Incentive, you want to look at the incentive. Is it a strong incentive? Is it appealing? Is it very clear at what I'm getting and so on? Is it punchy? DeroDrive, there's a testimonial. Question. There's a testimonial here. Okay, and then they ask, there's some zero-party data here. If you click on any of these, you will set some properties in the account. And then there's where the email opt-in stage comes in. Unlock 15% off your first order. There's a testimonial there. So the incentive is very clear. It's strong. It's discount driven, but it's working for their brand. They back it up with a testimonial. So they're doing a good job here. It's very clear. It's easy to see. It's on your first order. It's very bold, bright, striking. So it works for this particular account. So yes. Creative messaging. Is it compelling? Is it impactful? You want to look at the messaging here. You can see, if I go back one question, what are you looking for? Sweat control, prevent odors, sweat and odor control. It's a striking, message, just because you are trying to understand your database more. You want to resemble that you are taking, their needs into account. So it's striking messaging. Okay, what are you looking for? Sweat control, prevent odors, sweat and odor control, improving your life, improving your self-confidence. So it's a very, very good message angle to take. And there's a testimonial, so you're backing up with social proof and so forth. The messaging here is also strong. Unlock 15%. Yeah, it's generic, but for them it does the trick. and then you've got the rest of your copy. So this is fine. In many cases, we see brands don't tap into marketing psychology messaging, like impactful messaging. Again, there's no clear formula here. Use your brain here. 75, because you can always improve here. A/B testing. Are they actively running A/B testing? You want to go back into your main view and see if they have A/B testing installed. I know they are running A/B tests. They're just using the AI tool to run it for them. But do they run A/B testing? Yep. You want to ensure that there's a large amount of visitors that will see the pop-up form, the A and the B version. Otherwise, if your volumes, your site visitor volumes are small, you're wasting your time with A/B testing, because you're going to make false conclusions on your winners and your losers. So don't do it if there's small volumes. Exclusion. Have you excluded pages that you don't want the pop-up to appear on? Targeting. Okay, this particular one has been okay, there's a custom trigger that has been set here. You want to look at excluding your checkout page or a quiz page, where you don't want on a quiz page where you're collecting someone's email address or SMS opt-in. You don't want to serve this pop-up on that form as well. Or there could be other pages where you don't want the pop-up to appear. Set it in the account. Okay. And then you want to ensure that you are collecting the opt-ins to the correct list. So if I go here, if I click on the button, I can see that it is being submitted and collected to the main newsletter within Klaviyo. So that's perfectly fine. Sometimes clients link it, or brands link it to the incorrect list. So yep, that is in order there. Then you want to look at other things like your multi-step form. Are you collecting email addresses? Yep. So there is an email form here, critical one here, of course, because we are email marketers. So you want to ensure that they collect email. If it's relevant to them, are they collecting SMS opt-ins? So on this particular form, they are not collecting it just because they don't send SMS messages anymore. So this is not applicable. So you can remove it from your sheet if it's not applicable. But if they utilize SMS as a marketing vehicle, but they're not collecting it in their forms, of course, you're going to mark them low. Qualitative research. Are they collecting zero-party data? So are they collecting preferences, needs, behaviors, and so forth, buying patterns? Yeah, they are, because you can see, yeah, they ask a couple of questions. And if I select any of these, okay, it will set a custom property. Property. What happens is here, you can set a custom property. So if someone clicks on this, you set a custom property. This is just a draft form that we are busy building as well. So you set a profile property, a value of prevent orders. And then what you do is you can retarget them later on in their journey with your campaign messaging and so forth. So you want to set that. For this account, we are collecting it, but it's still in development, so we need to set the property still. Follow-up sequence. So you want to ensure that when someone submits the form, the welcome flow or the newsletter thank you flow confirmation is being triggered. Look at the account in the flow section. Sorry, not there. Look in the back end, see if anything triggers, and you also want to see if they opt in for SMS. Are they receiving an SMS confirmation message? Is it being sent via Klaviyo or some other means? Okay. Then last bits and bobs here is you want to also look at other critical, bits and bobs within the account or on the store. So you want to go look at their checkout. Are they actually collecting opt-ins at the checkout? Because you absolutely want to collect email opt-ins at your checkout, so you can push them in Klaviyo and you can remarket to them later down the line. So yeah, is an option to opt in to newsletters. If someone keeps that ticked and they submit their email address, they will opt into receiving emails from you. So yep, that's all good. Are they collecting SMS? Yep, I can also sign up for SMS messages. I can opt in there on the checkout, so that's also good. So that will stream through to Klaviyo. And then you also want to go look at your social channels or your account social channels. Are you using other areas and channels to push list growth? Do you have Instagram posts that prompts people to sign up to your newsletter? Do you have it in other areas, perhaps? Your YouTube channel? Do you have co-marketing initiatives with other brands to help you with list growth? Yes, no. If it's a yes, mark it there and label it there. So that's kind of roughly what we tend to look for when it comes down to subscriber list growth, your pop-in forms, opt-in forms, and so forth. Again, some of these things are very black and white. Some of them are a little bit more subjective. But again, measure this or analyze this as an end customer user. How would you feel about the pop-up visuals, the impact of the messaging, and so forth?